Hey, stick around for the whole video. At the end of the video, there's going to be a giveaway for something that you might want right now. If you're going to go out to an RV park or a campground with hookups, especially electricity, there's something you might need or want. So stick around. We're going to have a giveaway at the end of the video. Well, while I'm outside cleaning up the snow, let's get into the green screen and take a virtual camping trip in the nice warm summer day. Let's talk about what kind of equipment you need to go to an RV resort. We did boondocking, and really in boondocking, you don't need very much. Food, warm clothes, bed, things to keep you safe from the elements. But when you go to an RV resort, you really need more stuff because you're paying for more stuff and you want to be able to use it. So let's talk about an RV resort or a full service, full hookup campsite. Now, we did a short video on boondocking, and now what about a full hookup park? Most people think full hookup park, you buy the trailer, hook it up to the car, drive it to the park, you're all set. Not really true. You're going to actually need more equipment at a full service park than you will if you're just boondocking. And that's because you have to hook into their systems and you got to have the right equipment to do that, or you're going to harm your trailer. Now, since this is coming from me, I own a small Aliner A-frame trailer. Same as a pop-up or a tab trailer, one of the little tiny trailers, or maybe if you've got a van or something like that, it's the same type of thing. But if you've got a big rig, it's going to be a little different, but not too much. You still want to have the same protection for your equipment. And we'll talk about some of the big rig risks also. Now, if you go to a full hookup RV park, you want to be able to hook up to electricity, water, and sewer. Now, on my trailer, I don't really have a sewer hookup. I have a little pipe that comes out of the sink that really doesn't take a sewer hose, but I could adapt a hose or something to it. But you want to use all those services. It's a no-brainer. They're charging you for them, and it's no reason not to use them. Obviously, if you're using a cassette toilet, you probably won't use the sewer connection. You'll still probably take the cassette to the bathroom and empty it there. But there's a lot of thought that goes into all the other things, especially water and electricity. One of the things you want to think about, especially with sewer hookup, is that if you hook up your sewer pipe to the sewer pipe in the park, your black tank directly to the sewer pipe, and open your connection so every time you flush, it drains right into the sewer, what you're going to find is what drops down through the toilet ends up staying right under the toilet. There isn't enough water in a flush from your black tank to flush all that down into the sewer. So it's what they call affectionately a brown pyramid, builds up underneath your toilet. And that's not a pleasant situation, because as that dries down there, because you don't have any water in your black tank because you're sending it all to the sewer, that's going to build up into this hard, nasty, disgusting paper mache and cement type of stuff. So you want to make sure that when you hook up to your sewer, don't open your black tank. Wait till your black tank is at least half, 3/4 full. Because then the swirl of the water, the movement and everything will move everything down the line and into the sewer. You don't get the pyramid. You want to have water in your black tank to float stuff and keep it from actually adhering to the bottom. It's kind of like greasing the bottom of the tank, so to speak. So it's okay to hook up, but just don't pull the valve. Wait till it's at least half full or 1/4 full, 3/4 full. Some of the new tanks do have a black tank washing system that will rinse it down on the inside. I don't really understand how that works very well. I think it's just as easy to let your black tank fill. Remember, your toilet needs to have water in it to keep the seal from leaking, so you always have to have a little water in your toilet. Then when you flush, the little water goes down, but you've got a black tank that's this big and a toilet bowl that's this big, it isn't going to do a lot of good. So one of the things you're obviously going to need is you're going to need that hose to hook up to the sewer. And I think anybody who's got a regular rig with a bathroom inside, probably that should come with it. I don't know why they'd sell you a unit without it. You're going to want disposable vinyl latex gloves in a garbage bag, and when you do your black tank, you do your black tank first, and then you do your gray water tank, because that's really just soapy water, and that'll just rinse out the black hose. I'm not going to go into all those because I don't use them, and I'm not an expert in them. There's lots of great videos on YouTube about people using a black tank and doing it wrong and doing it right. So the other thing you want to hook up to is water. I think I have said in the past, I do not usually hook up to water because I like the water that comes from my house. I can make my water last easily a week, especially if I'm in a full service resort where I'm using their bathroom and their shower. I'm not doing a lot of washing on my trailer. I'll use their water outside to do washing dishes and stuff like that. I've even washed the dogs from their system. But if you're hooking up your trailer, your pop-up, to their water system, of course you need the hose. And you need a white water hose. This will probably mess with the green screen, but this is for potable water. It's not for washing your rig or anything like that, although you could use it for that, I suppose, but it's for potable water. I keep mine connected together like this so nothing can crawl in it and it can't get dirty. I do sanitize it once a year, approximately a quarter cup of bleach to a quart of water, and I send that in it and fill it up and let it sit for an hour or a day, and that sanitizes it. You might want to get a water filter to go on your system. And I'll add links below if you're interested in looking these up and reading about them at Amazon. But this is an inline water filter. This is an inline water filter. It comes with a little spout that you can screw on it, so it can go, you can screw it to your trailer. If your water thing is like mine, it's way inside the trailer, but you can screw that on and then screw this to the filter. And it tells you, it's got a little arrow on it, tells you the direction of flow, so follow the arrow. And this will keep the dirt, crud, and it'll make the water taste a little better. This is a charcoal filter. It just screws onto your hose and then hangs outside the trailer so that you have good, clean water. Okay, another thing you need in your park is a pressure regulator. Make sure the pressure in the park is not going to blow apart your plumbing. Many parks use a high pressure pump to pull water out of a well and distribute it through the whole park. And at 7 or 8 in the morning, when everybody's getting up and making coffee and taking showers and all that, the pressure may go way down to 30 pounds per square inch during that time, but that pump keeps them all supplied with water. But when they all shut off that water, that pump may raise the pressure way up to 50, 60, or 70 pounds. And 70 pounds will probably blow apart the P-Tex lines on your trailer if they're old or warm or anything else. You don't want to stress it. So if you get a pressure gauge like this one, this is a really nice one, and I'll link this below, but this keeps the pressure at roughly 45 pounds, which is really nice, decent pressure, and it has an adjustment on it. You can adjust it if you want more or less, depending on how you use your water. But you put this in line between your water input and your filter, because you want full pressure going through your filter so it keeps the water going through. And then this will go into your right directly before it goes into the trailer. Because you don't want that senior citizen that gets up in the middle of the night and flushes a toilet to suddenly have that pump kick on and send the pressure up to 70 to 90 pounds. A gauge regulator is really, these are expensive. These are 40 to 50 bucks, and you can buy cheap little things that say they do the same thing. They look more like a little hose nozzle, but all they do is restrict the amount of flow, and over time you will build up pressure in your lines. 35 to 45 pounds. Now, we did talk a little bit about the water filter. Just want to mention that a lot of full-timers have a mini water softener, especially if you go out west or some places in the U.S. The water softener is great, and a lot of full-timers use those to keep their water in a really good situation so it doesn't wear their hot water tank or their cold water tank, and all the plumbing fixtures don't get all calcium up. If you've got scale and stuff on your faucets at home, you probably need a water softener. Another thing on the whitewater hose, you might want to bring two 25-footers, because I was at a park last year where the water spigot was a good 50 feet away from the trailer. In fact, my spigot for my site was so far away from my site that the guy in the site next to me thought it was his, and he hooked up to it. The nice thing was he brought a splitter, and that's another thing you might want to bring to a park. So a water splitter is really nice. You'll screw that onto the spigot from the park, and then you have two spigots coming off it. And then you can have your hose going into your trailer, and then you can have like water if you want to fill up a bucket, like I fill up the dog's buckets and stuff like that for water from the spigot. So that covers water and sewer. Now what's left? Electricity, of course. Most people think all you have to do is plug in, right? Just plug in and you're done. Like park water, park electricity is not something to take lightly. A lot of people complain that the appliances in a trailer or a motorhome just don't stand up. A lot of the problems with appliances, microwaves, air conditioners, ovens, lights, things like that, can be related to bad power. So one of the things you want to have a power management, power protection system. This is Surge Guard. This is the Surge Guard that I have. This plugs right into the pedestal, power pedestal, and then I plug my trailer into this. This goes into the power, this goes into the trailer. It takes a full minute for this to turn on and allow power into my trailer. It monitors the power, it checks its reliability, it makes sure that it's not too low or too high a voltage, and it makes sure that it's got enough amperage to supply whatever you're drawing. And that's, I think, why a lot of microwaves, air conditioners, and things burn out, because they have bad power surges, bad power blips. Again, everybody gets up in the morning, turns on their electric coffee makers, turns on their air conditioners. The power is going to fade down, and it may come right back up. But this will keep it nice and level. This actually smooths out power, so it stays at a nice even flow. It has capacitors and things in it. This is a Surge Guard, as I said. There's also Progressive Industries makes one that's got real good reviews. I like this. I don't have any problems with it. I know a lot of people, you can get this one, hangs on the pedestal. You can get them built in so that you can't ever hook up to anything without going through your power management system. And they also make these with little remote monitor windows so you can tell what's going on. This one does have a window in it so you can see how many volts, how many amps, what's going on with the power, is it good or not. And note that these are never given to anybody with a RV. When you buy an RV, they never give these to you. These run from $200 to $400. And trust me, they're worth every penny. And of course, something else you might want is your own complete set of adapters. Let me get up to the camera here. These are, you know, this is your standard. This is a 30 amp happy face or sad face, whatever you want to do it, Chinese face. You know, this allows you to use a regular extension cord with a 30 amp plug. This takes a 30 amp plug and makes it a 50 amp plug. So if by chance you're in one of those highfalutin parks that only has 50 amp power, you can still use a 30 amp plug. And of course my plug is this type. It's a 30 amp marine plug, and I need to have a cord to work that. So that's my 30 amp to 20 amp plug. All right, we're talking about full hookup RV parks. And the nice thing about a full hookup RV park is you can go earlier and later in the season. Because you have electricity, you can use an electric heater. These are some of the electric heaters that I have had and tried out and have worked great for me. I've got this one running right now, and you can't even hear it. It's a great little Lasco heater. The only problem with it that I have is that it doesn't have a tip over switch. If you have a heater in your trailer, please get one with a tip over switch. Now, heaters are great in a small pop-up or an A-liner, especially an A-liner, a tab, A-frame trailers. They're all foam walls, so they hold heat pretty well. If you have canvas dormers, they're a little cooler than the regular A-frames. But these two are two awesome heaters that I've recently acquired, and they work great. All of these are 1500 watts. All of them have a fan that blows the heat across your floor or across the camper. They all have thermostats, so you can put them on high or low. And this one has a tip-over switch. It's a little switch on the bottom that if it tips over, it turns off. And I'm going to give this one away to one of my viewers. It's a comfort zone heater. It's got thermostat and everything. It's got all the safety features I would want to have. If you leave me a comment and leave me the time that I brought up this box, what time on the video did I bring up this box? Leave that number in the comments, and we'll pick a commenter, a viewer from the comments, and by random. There's all these funky programs to choose a random commenter, and I'll send this to you. This is a great little heater. It runs around 25 or 30 bucks on Amazon. I really like it, and I've got a couple of them. It's nice to have a warm hut to get into on a cold day, cold night. It's nice to be able to camp when it still gets really cold at night, but the days get really nice. Last night here in my town, it was around 20 degrees last night. Right now outside, it's 5 o'clock. The temperature is around 45 degrees. The sun's been out all day. It's really nice. We still have 8 to 10 inches of snow, and it's spring day after tomorrow. So we'll see how long this snow can last and how long it'll take me to get out in the woods. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you all coming by. More videos to come. The season's coming up. I'll be able to get a few more in. Thanks for putting up with the green screen and the silly backgrounds. So, with that, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Great season coming up. You'll love the new season. Leave me comments if you're interested in the heater. If you're not interested in the heater, leave me comments about what you'd be interested in winning. Maybe you'd be interested in winning a dog bone or a regulator or something like that. Tell me what you'd be interested in winning. So we're going to have more giveaways, more contests, more good content. Hope to see you on the camping trip somewhere. Come on up to New York, up to New England. Enjoy the beauty of the forest. Thanks, everybody. Camp safe.